It's a big smoke coming up, is what I seen. And I smelled something real bad.
An all clear was issued. The rail car has been secured and has been moved to its destination.
I don't know what this is going to do to me in the long run. We just need answers. We need real answers.
Tonight, people living near US 50 and Ohio 128 given the all clear to return to their homes after that evacuation order was lifted following yesterday's styrene leak. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Tricia Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. Officials held a press conference at about 7 o'clock tonight where health experts say cancer exposure from the chemical is unlikely.
Courtney King was at that press conference. She is live now.
Yeah, Courtney, what did you learn?
Yeah, Tricia and Rob, so we found out that the attorneys for the railroad are going to be here at the Whitewater Community Center between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow to answer any questions that people living in that radius might have about the exposure. And also during the press conference, health officials encourage people living in the radius to go ahead and wash any clothing items or maybe furniture covers that they left outside during the leak, just to be careful. They also encourage them to throw out any food that was left outside. And health officials also want people who have any symptoms to go ahead and get checked out by a doctor. Feel safe going home?
No, I do not. No, not after that press conference.
On Wednesday, officials lifted the evacuation order for people living within the half-mile radius of Tuesday's chemical leak near Whitewater Township in Cleves, Ohio.
I did. I had burning eyes. My tongue went numb. It was numb for quite a while, actually. After the numbness went away, it was tingly. It felt like, the only way I can describe it is like licking paint. Like that's what I felt like I had done to myself.
Alicia Johnson lives within the radius and evacuated Tuesday. She attended Wednesday's press conference on the leak.
I have gotten zero answers since being here.
Any symptoms or any concerns, get checked out by a medical professional. Call your personal physician or get checked out by a medical professional.
Stephen Fagan with Hamilton County Public Health tried to reassure residents returning to their homes that their exposure to styrene was minimal and should not cause serious health issues.
Any cancers that may have been associated with styrene is more like an industrial accident where people are covered with fluids. And so the venting that occurred into the atmosphere isn't even close to that type of exposure.
But Alicia tells us she is still concerned because she had film covering her arms when she went outside.
I want to know what happens when my granddaughter comes over and crawls in the grass. They have not tested our soil. They don't know. They don't know what our air is from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. They're saying that we didn't have enough exposure. That was on my skin. I know there was exposure.
The EPA started testing air quality after 7 p.m. Tuesday and say it is safe, but residents are concerned about the time between the leak and 7. Mike Miller with Central Railroad Indiana says Cincinnati Fire did testing then, but they don't have those results yet.
We started with the contractors as soon as they got on site, established the air monitoring. Those results have been provided. They'll be available.
So Alicia did ask the officials several times in that press conference about the soil. They did not give her a direct answer during that press conference about if it would be tested or not, but I did get to speak with them after the press conference and I asked about it, and they said that they do not feel that the soil is a risk because the styrene evaporates into the air when it is released. However, they encourage people with concerns about their soil to go ahead and call them and get that soil tested. And officials during the press conference stressed several times to call 211 if you were living in that evacuation zone or were nearby, and they can answer your questions or get you connected with someone who can help you. But we're live in Whitewater Community tonight with photojournalist Christopher Waldman, Courtney King, Fox 19 Now.
Courtney, you know, we've all been there and we've all talked to those people and they're very concerned. So I guess I have a couple questions. Number one, if they're saying to throw food away that was outside, and if you have covers that were outside, throw them away, what advice are they giving them for the dogs that are outside and kids playing in the yard, walking through your yard, walking into your house? Because if they're saying it's safe, based upon what? And what have they said about the water supply as well?
So for that first question, and that came up, you know, can we let our dogs out in the yard? Can we let our children play in the yard? And that was part of the soil sample question where they did not give a direct answer about it. However, when it comes to things inside, they mentioned that anything inside is safe. They just felt like you should wash things that were left outside. As for the water, Tricia, officials do say that the drinking water is safe and that they did test several wells and that the wells came back safe. However, they encourage people to have their own wells on their property if they want to get them tested to go ahead and call and get them tested. But they stress that the community's water supply was safe from their testing.
And there was a gentleman during the press conference who worked or had experience working on railroads, and he asked how long that train car was there. What was the answer to that question?
Yeah, so the man working for the railroad who was addressing the media at the press conference said that the rail car had been there for 7 days. And I asked him, is that normal? And he said it can be. It just depends on how long it was going to take for it to get to the final destination, how much traffic was going on at that final destination. So he did say it can be normal for rail cars to just be at another place for several days.
Could have been leaking for 7 days. I mean, it could have been doing anything, seeping out for 7 days.
So that, and as soon as he said that, someone asked that question right away, and he said that it's unlikely because if it was leaking, you would have seen, like in the pictures in the video we've shown you, where you can see that coming out of the top of the car. He said we would have known, or they would have known, it would have been seen. The leak would have been seen because you would have seen it coming out of the car. So that's how they answered the question.
I think there's still so many
questions.
There are.
Yeah,
there really
absolutely.
Are. Courtney, you're doing a nice job. I just feel like I was there. I know we're all there. There weren't a lot of answers, and there's no. It seems like somebody at the helm telling these people what's going on, and they just want answers.
They do. They do.